Fancy meeting you all here. What brings you to town? All righty, so 4:30. Boy, that 4:30 comes around quick. How about the rest of you? Crazy fast these days are going, crazy fast. So what are our numbers at? 21, my goodness, we got a lot of late people to this call today. So I think we're gonna buy ourselves a little time with my friend Ellen, who has some fun to share with you today.
Brittany Moore in, what is this? Saugerties, New York. I love that song you sent me. I know, it's easy to get hooker on certain dongs. What? Let me try that again. You get hooked on certain songs. Right, Doug? Grace Nimero in Urbana, Illinois. I'm so proud of you for getting into grad school, sweetie. Thanks, Mom. Without you and Dad's support, I never would have gotten this fat. Far, not fat, far. Tara Copeland in Los Angeles, California. I'm going to take a nap. Are we still on for penis and drinks? I guess that depends where we get the penis. Petties and drinks. Petties. If you find an autocorrect you think I should see, send it to me. We'll be back.
All righty. Well, there you have it. Nothing like ending our day today with penis and drinks. All right, so let's dive in. What do we got? We have some shift winners. Where's Steve Scott?
Yes, we do. We have, Adonis pointed this out to me, we have our CFO, Christine Finch-Olenek, winning 1. Oh my God, I just forgot the other one. Hold on. Oh no. Oh yes. And Kim Kendall in Ridgefield. Again, guys, if you have these, you guys, those two might, please think about who you want this to go to. A co-broke that we can deliver, hand deliver. Carlos and I and Dan will hand deliver this to a co-broke. What a nice gift to get from you. So let us know. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to all who keep showing on up. And oh, did I go out a minute? That was so weird. My screen said that I was out for a minute. So thank you for showing up and throwing your hat in the ring every day. We appreciate that. We got more shift books than we know what to do with. So hey, another 30 days we can do this. All righty. So Tammy, where's my friend Tammy Kranich? Tammy, you have some news on forbearance on mortgages, I think, to share with us. Do you not?
Yeah. You know what? Let me just pull it up because it's, I want to the good news is, where's your text? Let me just read it. Fannie Mae is going to come out with guidelines for it. And apparently they have decided, hot off the press, to support borrowers and mortgage services. The government said that Fannie and Freddie have issued temporary guidance, blah, blah, blah. Borrowers who are in forbearance or have recently ended their forbearance looking to refinance or buy a home will be able to. Good news, they will be able to. Borrowers are eligible to refinance or buy a new home if they are current on their mortgage, i.e. in forbearance, but continue to make their mortgage payments or reinstated their mortgages. Borrowers are eligible to refinance or buy a home 3 months after their forbearance period ends, and if they've made 3 consecutive payments under their repayment plan or payment deferral option or loan modification. That is great because that is not what we thought was going to happen. So that Steve, Rick, I sent that to you like seconds after I got it. So that is great news.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you. That's great news. We'll get you that documentation as well so that you can be a resource for your databases, for anybody in your database who might have gone the forbearance route, some of the ramifications of that. perhaps coming out a little bit better than was expected. So thank you. We appreciate being kept up on the breaking news, especially as it affects the money of our agents and our clients. So thank you so much for that, Tammy. All right, a couple of quick announcements for you. First and foremost, just in case you didn't see them earlier, I want to make certain that we have, where is it? There it is. We make certain that you see the brilliant opportunity you have to order these KW masks. I will tell you, I was kind of floored. In about 2.5 hours, I got orders for 126 of these masks. That's a lot of masks, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to send that order in tonight and then package another order, because I think we said we were giving people until Thursday after our 4:30 call. So we're going to send this initial order in tonight. If you are looking to get in on these masks, just continue to follow the instructions in the email. You just send your order to kwmaskorder@gmail.com, and we'll get that taken care of by Thursday. But those of you who ordered this afternoon, those 126 masks, that whole order is going to go in tonight, so we can get them as quickly as possible instead of waiting, because God knows they now have a whole lot of sewing and threading and whatever to do. So that'd be awesome. We send an army of people out into the world with KW masks on. What could be finer? Speaking of Thursday at 4:30, we wanted to make sure that you were aware, and please do let anybody you speak to in either market center be aware. There'll be an email on this before I depart for home this evening. 4:30 on Thursday, we will use our end of day Q&A slot to discuss the entire reopening plan. So you want to be certain that 4:30 on Thursday, you are on the Zoom call to get all of the details. We're going to deliver all the details for both market centers and all locations about the when, the how, the who, the what, the why, the whatever I'm missing, and then open it up for Q&A. And so if you have any questions about how that will work after we deliver that information, Thursday is your opportunity to do that. Again, we expect that we will have a full room on Thursday. So do make sure that you are on. With regards to alcohol, no, not the drink that you're drinking currently. With regards to rubbing alcohol, we do need alcohol to make sure that we have enough equipment in the market centers to wipe things down after use for any shared equipment. And so the reason we're asking for alcohol right now is because, if you may have noticed, you can't get wipes. So what we've been doing in my house is we've been going to CVS and buying just regular baby wipes. And when we can find alcohol, buying alcohol and combining the two and making our own alcohol wipes. So we have the baby wipes. We have some alcohol to get us started, but I'm going to ask everybody on this call, when you go into a CVS or a Rite Aid or a Walgreens or wherever you're shopping, if you see a bottle of isopropyl alcohol, please buy it and then get it to the market center, and we'll be happy to reimburse you for that. Because we do need to grab as much as we possibly can to make sure that we have opportunities to keep disinfecting the market centers as we reopen. So thank you for your participation in that. One other announcement: the Financial Peace University with Dave Ramsey does start tomorrow. If you could just let me know whether or not you plan on being a part of that or not, I would appreciate that. If you're just dropping in for the first one to check it out, to see if you want to continue on that, I encourage you to do that as well. Just let me know that as well. You will have scanned materials, again, before I go home tonight. So watch for those via email, so that if you're looking to print them out, Dave does a fill-in-the-blank handbook. So if you want to print them out to write in the answers, you'll have that tonight. Does anybody on the call want to just give a shout or a comment about this Financial Peace University program, if you've been through it before? I'm just curious if there's anybody who wants to share anything before we move off that topic.
Hi, Rick. So it's Kimberly. I have a question, right? So I've done the class in our office a couple of times before. I'm curious how his process, if it changes based on what we're going through now, right? So I know he was all about the debt snowball, but we're in a pandemic. Does he address whether or not it makes sense to hold cash versus doing that?
So great question. And the answer, Kimberly, is no, because what you're going to see is the exact same sessions as we have been playing. It's not updated material. The only person bringing updated information to the table will be me in the 10-minute mastermind or 15-minute discussion afterwards. I am happy to address those conversations and concerns based on the things that I've been reading and hearing. But the actual Financial Peace University session will be the same as what it's been in the past.
Thank you.
I would like to share something very quickly.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I will be on this class for the third time, and I just feel it will be the same as we feel with Bold, because every time our situation is different and we are different. So I expect this to feel like as if I'm going to hear everything for the first time in my life and start from scratch. So I look forward to it.
Yeah, I agree with that, Silva. As this will be time, I don't know how many times, a dozen times for me through this same material. And every time I hear it, I come away with something else that I go and actually put in play and implement to my financial benefit. So I'm really excited. Anybody else want to throw anything out?
Well, you know, I'm a big lover of this program, and I did only take it once. And when Rick, you said you took it 12 times, I was like, well, what? Why did he take it 12 times? But now I understand why you took it 12 times. So I am excited. I think everyone should take this. I think it's just an amazing way to look at where your money goes. That's really the crux of it. Again, you can make $500,000 a year, but if you spend $600,000 a year, then it doesn't really work. It's really about getting a handle on how much money goes out the door. I think it's an amazing opportunity, and I'm very excited for 11 o'clock tomorrow. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for throwing that out there. And what I will say, I actually think that Jeannie's taking it again because she wants to try and beat my 12 because she's a fierce competitor, that Jeannie Kassendorf. So I'll have to sit the next couple out and let you catch up a little bit. But you just said something that prompted a thought that now went out of my head.
Expenses, living more than you can afford.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, thank you. Yes. So the part of the reason that we're bringing this to you is we tend to bring this to the Market Center every summer. The reason we're starting early is because we're through Ignite and we're getting through the Bold pivot, and so we wanted to start another program to bring us forward. But mostly, what I'm most excited about to bring this program to you this time around is that for those of you who have had financial struggle in the last 8 to 10 weeks, it's this program that, had you been doing some of the things that this program was pushing your way, you wouldn't have had the struggles that you had. Right? It's the getting rid of debt. It's the emergency fund. It's the growing the emergency fund to 3 to 6 months. It's all of those concepts that we've been pushing your way for the last number of years, that those of you who had that in place weathered the last 8 weeks better than those of you who didn't. And so I think it's really important to recognize that these concepts are built for times just like this, which is why I'm excited to bring it back to you so that we can experience it in shifted, weird kind of times, because I think the value and the importance of all of those things are just heightened. So I'm excited. All righty, so that's 11 o'clock tomorrow. What else we got? And so the only other thing that I wanted to, throw out to you today was, two quick things. An update on, for those of you who are filing weekly PUA update claims, which is every Sunday. The PUA itself actually contradicted itself, and I want to make sure that you got the clarity that they offered after the fact. If you remember, they came back and said when you're filing, once you're in the PUA, you should put in, if you worked 20 hours and made no money, that you should put in the 20 hours and then put a 0. The PUA will not allow you to do that. So if you tried that last week, you realized that you had to make an adjustment. So I just want to go on record as saying, when you're filing your updated PUA weekly claim, you either need to put in 0 hours worked with 0 income, or if you had a closing and you're reporting that income that week, you need to put in some hours for that. But that's the correlation. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about a month and a half ago when we started this whole process at the state level of zeros for the weeks you didn't do anything and numbers for the weeks you did earn something. That is the process they want you to follow. So just note that, because that's a little bit of a change from what they came out with a week and a half ago. And lastly, I don't know about any of the rest of you who was on the pivot call at 2 o'clock today. The special guest for the first 40 minutes was who?
Gary Keller.
It was Gary. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I just thought he was on fire, and I thought the Bold coaches were on fire today. I couldn't write fast enough with the notes. And so I just wanted to open it up. Any ahas that you wanted to share with your colleagues who perhaps weren't on the call that you pulled away from today that were important?
I thought it was interesting when he was discussing selling the 2 properties, really kind of between 70 and 80 cents on the dollar, but how that was going to project far more in the future by having that cash now.
Yeah, so the point that Gary keeps making is every dollar you save today might be worth $5 or $10 in actual buying power 6 to 12, 18 months from now, right? And so it's important to earn that income and then make sure that you're saving that income to make sure that you are prepared for the opportunity. I haven't read it yet, but Steve sent me something earlier today. Maybe you read it, Steve, and can speak to it, or if not, I'll read it tonight and talk tomorrow about it. But he sent me something that referenced if you're not buying something right now, you're missing like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So it's about acquiring assets right now, whatever that might be. If you're buying real estate, if you're saving cash, if it's the idea of what are you doing with assets right now in a shifted time to really make a difference, because people make money when the market shifts sideways, right? And so are you participating in that? Again, I'll read exactly what he sent because I don't see him unmuting himself. So I think he maybe didn't read it either. So I'll make sure I read it and get back to you with it tomorrow. All righty. There are a couple of questions in the chat box. Stu's is loaded with alcohol. Great. So if anyone goes to Stu's, get us some alcohol. Yes, the 4:30 on Thursday will be recorded, just like everything we do is recorded. So if you miss it, plug back in. You will not have an opportunity to ask questions if you miss it. But if you have a question that you want to make sure gets answered, send it to a colleague that you know will be on the call if you have an appointment to make sure it gets answered either by me before the question or via that question. Can you invite clients? I'm assuming, Silva, that's to Financial Peace University. Yeah, invite clients, invite your database, invite other agents. Absolutely. Anything and everything we do is open to guests and your database until or unless we make an announcement that for some reason something is not. So absolutely go for it. Anything else from Gary or the Bold Pivot call that you wanted to share before we finish up today? I've got 2. These are ahas from Gary. Yes, who?
Me, I got one.
Yeah.
I like equating 3 to 4 hours of lead generation to 3 to 4 hours of giving and servitude.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. It's the, and to that, Cody Gibson came back and talked about, look at that whole time as a get to do, not a have to do, right? Because we naturally, as humans, we resist, and what we resist, we push back on. So when we resist something, we naturally step back from it. What we embrace, we lean into. We embrace, embraces us back, right? So recognize that you have an opportunity to help people that sometimes we call lead generation. And the more, Gary talked about the greed of lead generation, and that greed coming from the fact that the more you help people, the more you want to help more people. So you get greedy with that time to say, who else can I touch? Who else can I help? Who else can I make sure doesn't list their house with a crappy agent? Who else do I want to make certain doesn't point their niece who's buying a condo for the first time in the wrong direction, right? You have to believe that you are the best solution for them. I was fascinated that Gary talked to us about the fact that we were squeezed in today in between his 4 appointments. He had 4 appointments scheduled for the day. And what that means is he was scheduled to be doing real estate today, to either talking to agents or talking to buyers or talking to sellers. He had already done 1, he was doing us, and then 3 more, right? How many of the rest of us had 4 appointments today? If Gary can do it, we can do it.
I want all you guys to refer in some like mega agents so I can call Gary Keller and say, could you have an appointment with this recruit with me? That would be amazing, because he's doing it.
Yeah, who is that? Who we're gonna bring to the table for Steve or Carlos or Dan to be able to engage Gary's help. And then the last thing I'll mention for today. Oh, excuse me, I have 2 more. If you are truly in relationship with your database, shifts don't feel like shifts. Business is consistent and persistent, and they call you. And so I love that as a standard to say, okay, am I truly in relationship with my database? Does the shift feel like a shift because I have to go out and find so much new business? Or because I'm in such massive relationship with my database, am I not worried because I know that there's a consistent flow of business from that source? I think that's a massively important barometer to use about what kind of database work you're doing. And then my favorite one from the day, which it was in the early part of when Gary was on the call, just because it's not back to normal, right? We all know it's not back to normal. Whatever happens next week or the week after, we're not going back to normal. That ship has sailed. But just because it's not back to normal doesn't mean the new normal can't be better. Oh, I like that one. Right, and so now we're looking forward to say, okay, well, how does this new normal benefit us? What are we leaving behind that we didn't need? And what are we moving towards that can bring so much more to the table? That's a mindset shift that I encourage each of you. If you didn't write that down, I'll say it one more time. Just because it's not back to normal doesn't mean the new normal can't be even better. I would read that 10 times a day. Have your phone pop that up every hour on the hour, just to remind your head. Make sense? All right, guys, are there any other questions that you have around anything that we didn't discuss this afternoon that would be helpful to you before we break for the day?
Rick, will the Financial Peace University be on this Zoom channel? Is that what we're doing?
It will be on this Zoom channel until or unless you hear differently. As soon as we hang up with you guys, I'm going to test it just to make sure that what I'm planning will actually feed. So it will be on this Zoom channel unless you hear differently from me.
Okay, because I'm planning to invite some people and I wanted to tell them. Okay, I'll wait to hear.
Yeah, so I'll know that. I'll know that by 5:15. So if you don't hear anything different, assume it's this channel by 5:15. if I know it's not going to work, I will put something out immediately. So you'll hear that shortly.
Rick, same meeting ID number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
468-511-5571. What else? Anything else before we go?
Rick, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Are restrictions going to lift as of tomorrow? Or do you have any update on that, or can you give me some reference point?
So tune in on Thursday at 4:30. Everything about the reopen is going to be discussed on Thursday at 4:30, and that includes any information about what restrictions are in place or what restrictions are lifted based on the governor and or Hartford. We don't have some of that information yet from Hartford, Lenka, and so some of that information we are holding till Thursday at 4:30 for that purpose. And then the rest of it will be about the reopening of our physical spaces and our guidance and advice about things like physical open houses and physical showings and all that. So 4:30 Thursday is when you can log in. We will get all of that information to you at that time.
Right, thank you, Rick.
You're welcome. Anything else? Going once. Going twice. All righty, we will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. sharp. Have a great evening. Take care.